What's the saddest thing you have ever heard? I was working as a responder for 988 about a year ago, and I got one of those calls that stick with you forever. This guy, probably in his mid-30s, was on the line, crying so hard he could barely breathe. I could hear the pain in his voice, but he wouldn't say what happened. All I could do was stay there with him, holding the silence until he was ready to talk. Finally, after what felt like forever, he shared the most heartbreaking story. Earlier that day, he'd been teaching his 6-year-old son how to ride a bike for the first time. It was supposed to be one of those unforgettable moments, but in an instant, it turned into his worst nightmare. His son was hit by a car right in front of him. The kid died in his arms, his only child. And to make things worse, his wife had died giving birth to their son, so now he had no one left. He was completely alone, no close family, just a few work friends. He had come back to an empty house from the hospital, and the silence was crushing him. He kept saying he didn't have a reason to keep going anymore. I stayed on the phone with him for over 2 hours, just listening as he cried and talked about memories with his son. Before we hung up, he thanked me and promised he'd be safe for the night. But honestly, I still think about him and wonder if he made it through.